माननीय वित्त मंत्री श्रीमती निर्मला सीतारमण।
I present the budget for 24-25.
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced changes to the new income tax regime in her Budget 2024 speech. One of the most significant and anticipated announcements was that standard deduction in the new tax regime will be increased from 50,000 rupees to 75,000 rupees.
As a result of these changes, a salaried employee in the new tax regime stands to save up to 17,500 rupees in income tax.
Sitharaman also announced revisions to tax slabs under the new regime, like increasing the lowest slab to 3 lakh income.
In the new tax regime, the tax rate structure is proposed to be revised as follows: 0 to 3 lakh rupees, nil; 3 to 7 lakh rupees, 5%; 7 to 10 lakh rupees, 10%; 10 to 12 lakh rupees, 15%; 12 to 15 lakh rupees, 20%, and above 15 lakh rupees, 30%.
The Finance Minister did not announce any changes to the old income tax regime. This is in line with what most personal tax experts were expecting, since last year the new tax regime was made the default one. The Modi government has signalled a clear intent to move towards a tax regime with fewer or negligible exemptions. But Sitharaman said no decision has been taken yet on when the old tax regime will be scrapped. The Finance Minister announced changes to the capital gains tax structure, which are expected to dig deeper into the pockets of investors. The tax on long-term capital gains, which is profit from selling assets held for more than 2 years, has been increased from 10% to 12.5%. On the other hand, if you sell a financial asset within a year of purchase, it's considered short-term, and the tax rate on the profit is 20%. So in a sense, holding an investment for a longer period now attracts a higher tax, while short-term gains continue to be taxed at a higher rate.
We wanted to simplify the approach to taxation, also for the capital gains. One. Second, if anything, the average taxation actually has come down when we say it is 12.5%. Because we worked out for each of the different asset classes, each varied with the indexation. But the point that we brought it down from below the average to 12.5, which is the lowest if you can look at the last several years, encourages investment in the markets.
I propose to abolish the so-called angel tax for all classes of investors.
Angel tax refers to a levy imposed on the capital raised by unlisted companies via the issue of shares to investors. Now the government wants to abolish it in order to bolster the Indian startup ecosystem. The startup community has long advocated for more supportive and less restrictive environment for fundraising.